Megavan everyone, I am Melvin Urgalan, and we are here today, and we are going to continue onwards with the Misty Mountains. Now, what's going on? Well, Karas Galathon is soon to, or is about to fall, due to starvation and lack of supplies and other siege-y things, terms, and so on. So that's in the making. What else is happening? Well, Thranduil is not very happy about our invading army, so they have apparently decided to try and take us on. And I'm not going to be able to defeat that, so we're just going to withdraw. And I do believe that we need to wait for one of the other invading armies to take initiative and assault the halls themselves, because we're not going to be able to do that by our own lonesome. And I mean, those units are free upkeep anyway, so it doesn't really matter now, does it? Then again, I do not think you can remove them from an invasion before the invasion has failed, and I do not think the invasion will fail before every general who's joined in the invasion are dead. So that's a really interesting loophole there, because it could go on forever and you're never going to get your general back, basically. Those who want, those are good. Casa Doom West has got a barracks, good. Get a troll cage and get me some more of those. Selleberg is building up. Get me those, so we can soon start to recruit more heavy units. Temple of Malachor, why not? Oh, get me Ballistae. Zoom in there. Alright, let's have a quick look. What's building and what's not. You're not building. Can you build anything? You can. Get me Butchery, that should give me a little bit of money. Rakkeberg can't. Karinamrath, you can. There we are. Forodrain can't. And Anonarod can indeed as well. Get me leather work up. Thank you very much. So, what's going on here? We have a foray into the west as well, and I would be very intrigued to try and take out Ostin Ethil. Ah! We actually managed to invade, or not invade, but infiltrate them. Why is that important? Well, we now have a 50-50 shot at actually just getting into Ostithil without having to wait to build siege ramps, and I do so much love it when that happens. So let's take everyone except for that general and those units, and let's just go for it. Let's cripple Imladris as much as possible, and they're not going to be able to put any fight, or very little fight anyways. Right, 2 more turns until Karas Galathon has fallen, and other than that, there's not much going on. You're just going to hover around there, basically, because I'm not going to let you assault Thranduil's Hall by your lonesome. Now, you can abandon invasion, that's good knowledge, or good to know. Oh, and Leothold, of course, we're going to take that one more turn. They're either going to rise up, or they're not. And Tower of Filin is going to fall. Now, we do have quite a bit of siege equipment, so I think we're going to assault it. Oh, and they have Legolas. Elder Council, these look cool. Look at that defense, that's ridiculous. Elven Militia, so strong. They have 1 Elven Defender. Now that's interesting, because I remember someone saying that elves do not get defenders except for in their capitals. That's what I remember. But that must be me misremembering. Yeah, let's go for a night attack, because we get 1 more command star, and that's always good, especially when you're fighting against elves. And even more interesting than that is that we're going to get to try out these flame Wranglers. And seeing as we are the ones on the attack, we are not going to have to worry about retreating with them when they come too close. No, we're going to be able to sit there and just fling fire and destruction upon the elves, burn down the forests, do everything against them. Quite incidentally, this city, Taur Filin, is actually Arrow Forest, or does mean Arrow Forest, sorry. Or Forest of the Arrow, I think, is the literal translation. So that's quite interesting if you wanted to know. So what we're going to do, well, first of all, I'm going to move everyone back. And I want... Yeah, I want this setup here. with the catapults going to be firing straight there and nothing else. I also want, how's the settlement looking? These are actually walkable, and I think that's a beautiful addition to 11 cities, and I can't wait to get to play with these as an 11 faction and just be able to stand units here, be completely safe, and be able to shoot down a encroaching enemy, and think that's a beautiful thing. Absolutely stellar. I love it. Flame Wranglers are going to go there and they're going to shoot straight into the city. This one is going to focus on the gate and take that down, and these are going to try and fire on enemies. Or maybe take down the gate, I haven't decided yet. You are basically useless, my dear cavalry, so you're just going to stand back. You're going to go close, and we have quite a bit of line infantry which we can waste without anyone really caring. Don't use that. And you're going to be our supporting units there, and you are going to go with the general. And I forgot someone. Who have I forgotten? Where is it? There they are. Oh right, you're supposed to be in this line here. Men, ready. Alright, start the battle. Pause it really quickly because... Oh, they're not set to fire at will. That's beautiful. So what we're going to do with them, fire there, do that, and you can fire on, no actually fire there. You two go for the gate, and let's just see what happens. Now let's look at the flame Wranglers, because I'm really excited about this. I'm actually going to do that, slow it down just a tad, so that we can see when they finally fly. Oh, and it doesn't speed it back up to 1. I thought it might do that. Oh. First shots have been fired. Here they come. Why can't I see it? I can't see them. No! Why can't we see them? Loads of fire coming in. The gate is hopefully going to go down. That's a really interesting looking projectile, that is. Fire there. Maithir Ithevari is a very good unit, and we need to bring them down. So fire your arrow, oh not arrows, but your flaming thing. There you come. You can see there. Oh, way too early. Here they come again. 2 more. Oh, that exploded too early. And that one exploded too late. Look at that hit. Fan-freaking-tastic hit that one was. Oh, big mistake. They're trying to come out. Right, let's just keep at it. But look at that carnage. Fantastic work, siege equipment. Best way to kill elves is with siege equipment, especially if they're going to stand like that. Now, it almost appears as if they have realized that they need to attack us in order to be able to stand a chance, or at the very least, move further back. Not one hit, yeah. Oh, look at that fan-freaking-tastic carnage on multiple levels here. I love the Flame Wranglers already, they're so beautiful. Well, not beautiful, but they get the job done. And stupid elves at the moment are trying to get through the one position that I'm firing at ballista with, which is just a beautiful thing for me, because that means I get so many more kills. Fire at the Hinid Daur, they are very strong and we need to get them down. The Maithir Ithevar are strong, so we need to cut them off before they hit our lines. We are firing at them, but we need to still cut them off immediately, if not even before that. Look at that. Fantastic. Come on, you can get through the ballistae before they make it. No, you couldn't. Okay, fine. That means we're going to have to retreat backwards, which is never good, but, you know. Nothing is ever perfect in war. And sometimes you need to make retreats tactical ones so that you do not lose more than absolutely necessary. As long as the flame wranglers keep shooting, I'm going to be happy. So let's look again. There they come. Ah, that's a miss. That's a miss, but I do love how that works. Fire there, the woodland wardens do that. Look at that conch. I think that was one hit even, so that's even better. The gate is not destroyed, quite incidentally. It's just open at the moment. So we need to keep that in mind. It's chaos over here at the moment, but you go a little bit more to the side there, so you're not even remotely threatened. Okay. More units are approaching. Fantastic. Oh, 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 fire there, fire there, fire there. Come on, please. One fantastic hit. There you go. That might hit, that might hit. It didn't, but could have. Could have. Did I already say that I love that unit? It's so beautiful. Where's it going? Oh, 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 no. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You got a few elves there. Good, good, good. Oh, and the Mythian Ether Wall seems to be going down. Going down slowly, but going down. Oh, and look at that fantastic hit. Catapults. More hits. Ooh. If that one would have been a little bit more to the right from this side, that would have been fantastic. Okay, so they're going for the ballista now. You're shooting your own catapult. Did you see that? They shot that guy there and that guy there. That's beautifully stupid. Orcs. You gotta love them or something. Oh, miss. Basically, if they're gonna shoot like that, don't run in front of them. Oh. We need some better units to flank. You're probably in a very bad position actually, so move there. Okay, you're firing still. That's still not broken actually, it's quite impressive. We still have siege equipment though, so we're fine. The interesting thing is that if the gate is not broken once all my siege equipment run out of ammunition, we obviously cannot enter the city because we do not have siege equipment, so we cannot break down the gates. However, even if we managed to rout some of the enemy and they were running through and we followed them through the open gate, that does not count. You need to be able to have the siege equipment so that you can break through yourselves. Which is understandable, but at the same time a little bit annoying, because it means you will lose a siege battle. Simply because you have chosen not to focus on the gate. I think that happened once to me in the DaC campaign actually, if I'm not misremembering completely. It was really interesting because I did not know that. Oh, come on. No, you're just firing rotting meat now. We should probably focus on that then. Go for it. And you take out the woodland warriors, the woodland wardens, sorry. And you run that way. You still have quite a bit of ammunition actually, so move up. Oh, and they're going away. So just fire there. See what happens. And you just focus on those. Actually, you go and aid against the woodland warriors there. Come on, now's your chance. Fire! Literally. Only 58% down. What on earth? Oh, here we go. That's going to be a good hit. I feel it. No. Oh, a few there. That's good. Oh, hello. It's not as damaged as I would like it yet. So we maybe need to focus a little bit more on it. Because you've just run out of ammunition apparently. Yeah, you have. So move them back. I don't want to lose them. Still only 58% down. which is bad, so we need to start thinking about running through someone. Running someone through. Interesting. Either way you say that, it sounds like you want to skewer someone. Oh well. Take that with you. Yeah, they want to go through, but I can't go through apparently. Stop using that and just fire at the gate because I don't want to lose due to the fact that I'm not getting through. And the Mighty Ether was still fighting. Resilient little elves. Okay, follow those in. I think I get the Woodland Warriors to run through. Actually, not engaging our general against the Mighty Ether is probably a bad idea because they're armor piercing. So let's not do that. Stop firing actually, because you're not gonna get through and we need them to open it. We so need them to open the gate. Oh, no. Alright. Well, we are cutting them down, and even though we have basically no armor on these units, it doesn't really matter. Because... Which city was this? Was it Leothold? No? Wait. Tower Filling, that's the one it was. Yeah, of course. Did I not tell you to stop firing? Oh no. They just ran out of ammunition. These still have ammunition though. You can't destroy a gate with them, but apparently these counts. Everyone converge on the enemy units. Where are they still? No, all the elves are dead there. Perfect. We need to get through. Oh, the gate is apparently just glitched and currently open. So it's time to surge them and surg them. Is the gate glitched? They are walking through it. Can we get through? I think we can get through. Just run. The Woodland Wardens are really not in a good position with all the hatchets and axes and spears that are coming there, so we just need to run through before we fire any more catapult, because then we're not going to win the battle. Because we physically can't... Oh, you cheeky buggers, you. Throwing your javelins at me, are we? That's very good, I applaud that. Because that's going to kill quite a few of my units. I thought I told you to get through. Okay, so we just have archers left. Run there and... I don't know. The Hinidaur should, however, fall really quickly. So that should not be a problem. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, you are the best orcs there is. Or something. Okay, now you can probably join in general. You have been distant for too long. And we have got quite a few. We have in fact got very many kills with the siege equipment, and I'm very happy with that result, because just look at the carnage there and at the gate specifically, and there. No, that was a battle, so never mind that. But there's a carnage going on. Or there was carnage. There is still carnage, but there was a slaughter going on. That's what I meant to say. Run through. We need a proper concave in order to be able to completely surround them. That's what that means, doesn't it? A concave means you have surrounded them. So, I mean, I don't know why I said both of those things. In fact, they do not even have any defenders in the middle, so just run for it. You four run for it and see if you can't get there. I do not care about the other ones. They can die at the sacrifice of the Woodland Spearmen and Hinidaur and the Elder Council. You should preferably not die. But we are indeed getting troops to the center. Oh, I know what I'll do. Haha! We're going to use their own designs against them. Ha ha ha! I somehow highly doubt that the EAA would be able to actually use these causeways properly anyways. So we're just gonna take advantage of them. Okay, you're pushing through. You have given up apparently. Not much we can do about that. I already know what I'm gonna call this episode, by the way. I'm gonna call it Flame Wranglers in Action, because that should draw a crowd. Flame Wranglers in Action. Fantastic. There we are. Okay, so they're going to be the name givers, because they did do quite a bit. Even if they missed, also quite a bit. You can't expect everything to hit. So, I mean, it's fine. And now this is highly interesting, because the enemy has decided not to contest the center, but instead try to hold us here, which is a mistake. Because I do not care how many units I lose. I only care about taking the city, and quite frankly, I just want to get rid of these goblins and replace them with more heavily armored goblins, because I think they're going to do a better job. I also have bulge champions, which I've never used actually up until now. They're not going to see action in this battle either, so I mean, whatever. Now, where are you? How far away are you? And we've actually captured the building, so that's good. I'm still not going to shoot with that, just in case the game decides that you have not destroyed the gate and they could lock you out by recapturing the gate. And call that a loss from my side, which I think is absolute bollocks. There we are. Where is the general, actually? He's over there. That's good news for me, because that means he's gonna be safe. Good luck finding him. Delete should zoom in on him, shouldn't it? Oh, that's him, is it? Yeah, that's him. Well, he's safe in any case. Okay, good. The carnage continues, and basically the fact that I sent my archers through has... There's no point in me sending my archers through, other than me wanting to use these things, but it was a strategically bad thing to do. Nevertheless, the elves have decided to give us the center and give the victory to us without us even having to kill General Legolas. So, I mean, that's quite a good victory for me and end the battle. We lost 1/3 of our army to quite a bit of theirs, but we still lost 1/3. Oh god. Right, so who killed the most? That's very low numbers, but then you need to remember that they're elves and there weren't that many to begin with. The Mountain Orc Hunters actually win, quite surprisingly. Though they were in the thick of it at the gate, so I presume they got quite a few kills there. Then we have the Catapult at a second, I believe. Yeah, and where are the Flame Wranglers? There they are, 52 at a third position, I believe. Indeed they are. That is not bad, but I expected better. So hopefully they're going to perform better in the next one. But they were a lot of fun to use, however. I must admit that I really think they are a cracking good unit. Unfortunately, it's post-barracks event. Maybe not actually. Could you build the catapult maker before that? I'm not sure. In any case, they're not an early game unit, and if you're one of those who just like, yeah, okay, I've got to this point basically, and I think I am uncontestable, and I can just rebuild an army really, really quickly. You might think that, okay, so I'm never going to see the Flame Wranglers, the Dance Guild, cool, because you're going to end the game before you actually reach that position. Therefore, you get to see them now, and I think they're really, really cool. Definitely worth their reputation, and I think that's a good thing. Get the Shrine of Melkor because we need that. Low tax rate. and did not... Yeah, I do have a scout there, so let's move in there. There we are, perfect vision. Right, so this army here, let's merge a few units first of all. And second of all, this army is still quite good at fighting elves. At least if we're on the defensive. Because we're going to be able to fight. Actually, I think it's better if we are on the offensive, because we're going to be able to stay back whilst they advance on us. No, we advance on them and they still sit still. My apologies. Who's at war with us actually? Okay, that's all right. But yeah, it's quite a good elven killer and a dwarven killer as well, because the siege equipment does not discriminate against anyone. It kills everyone in equal measures, and even better than that, because one hit from any of those three and you're dead. There's no discussing it, you're dead. Right, so let's see if Leodholt rises up, and if it doesn't, we are going to go one more turn, and then Karas Galathon has its last chance to stand up, but I think it's not going to, because A, the garrison is basically pitiful at this moment. For some reason, they have decided not to go for Karen Amroth, even though they have had forces outside my armies besieging Karas Galathon for quite a while. So I do not know why they didn't send those forces to retake Karen Amroth, which has a pitiful defense. Okay, so Leodholt is indeed attacking. What do you have? Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. So let's just save it, and you're going to get another battle. But yeah, because the besieged city is going to take attrition, or reduction to their numbers, based upon how many units are besieging the city, and we have 2 full banner armies besieging, they're going to take heavy losses. Which you can see that they have, because they started, or when they started, they were basically a full banner, and they're now down to like 1/8 of the banner or something along those lines. It's ridiculous how much units they've lost, how many units they've lost. And yeah, elves died to attrition as well, apparently. There are many ways you can kill an elf. Attrition is apparently one of them. Because even if they live forever, they still need the nourishment that food provides. And as opposed to some silly interpretations by that arrogant writer Christopher something, I think, elves are not vegetarian. There is never any indication that they are actually only vegetarians. Which is something that the Hobbit movie portrays, wrongfully I might add. I think that's ridiculous, because there's nothing in Tolkien's books that suggests that elves would unilaterally be vegetarian. Some elves are presumably they are, because, I mean, we have vegetarians in our society and it's not unheard of, so, I mean, you can be that. However, don't go claiming that every single elf is a vegetarian just because they like living things and they live forever and they have respect for nature, which is also much more of a non-Tolkien elf view, I might add. They are much more nature-centric in other fantasy realms than they are in Tolkien's, in my opinion anyway, in my interpretation of it. You might have a different interpretation, but I've never gotten that feeling that they're completely ingrained with nature. I mean, there's the obvious difference, of course, with Thingol, I believe, and the Maiar he marries, which I can't name at the moment. But they live in Doriath, in the forest Doriath in Beleriand, and they have the magical forest, which is protected by the girdle of Melian, or something along those lines. Basically meaning that no living person can enter it that's not been allowed by King Thingol to enter. I believe his name was Thingol. It might have been the Gondolin lead as well. I'm always mixing those two up, so don't hate me too much for mixing that up. In any case, in Doriath, you could make the argument that the elves are very nature-centric because they live in a forest, and there are even mentions of elves building houses, building tree houses on top of trees or in trees, which Thingol did to hide his daughter Luthien from Beren, who tried to come and, or rather, Beren who attempted to enter the forest of Doriath, or the kingdom of Doriath, and got completely lost but never surrendered, and finally managed to breach the girdle. And upon doing so, when he was very, very tired and almost completely exhausted, he saw one of the most beautiful women he had ever seen, which was Luthien, standing in a clearing in the forest. And that gave him courage to keep going and try to get to her. He, however, never managed to get to her before she had moved onwards from that spot. I don't think she noticed him. But that gave him courage, and he continued forward deeper into Doriath. And eventually he finally got there and requested of Thingol Luthien's hand in marriage. Thingol, of course, not liking the idea, decided that yes, you can marry my daughter, but in order to do so, you need to bring me one of the Silmarils from Morgoth's head piece. He had the 3 Silmarils and he had forged them into his iron crown. And Thingol had asked Beren to bring one of those 3 Silmarils back to him. And Luthien was distraught because that was obviously a completely impossible mission, and no mortal being could have any chance of actually completing it. She therefore elected to, or she wanted to join Beren on this impossible quest and aid him in whatever fashion she could. She was, of course, denied this, and they built a treehouse for her, from which there was no escape, or so they thought, because there was no rope up there. So it was basically impossible to climb down from that. And she was basically a captive inside of Doriath, her own kingdom. Well, not her kingdom, her father's kingdom, but still. And yeah, she escapes from the treehouse. I can't exactly remember how she does it, but she does it. And joins Beren on his quest to find Morgoth and get one of the Silmarils. Now, this is where I get a little bit confused as to how the story went, but I do believe that the Hound Huon, the mighty hound, which aids them in their quest. No, I think I'm mixing them up. I think Huon did not aid them on their quest, or did he? I can't speak to that. I'm getting completely confused, or messing up my first aid knowledge here. It's possible that Huon was with them and joined them on their quest and basically protected them a little bit, giving advice and so on. Well, he didn't speak. He spoke 3 times in his life, but he joined them on their quest. And they finally reach Angband after a long time of travel. And when they finally do reach Angband, they realize that how are we going to get to Morgoth, who is at the bottom of this fortress, and how are you going to get in? So they manage to get in somehow, and once in, Luthien starts singing. And when she sings, it's some type of magical song, in that it makes everyone who listens to it, except for Beren apparently, fall asleep. So the entire fortress of Angband falls asleep, including Morgoth. And Beren and Luthien travel to the bottommost depths of Angband. And there they find Morgoth snoozing, completely sound asleep. I might be messing it up here. It might have been that they were prisoners or been imprisoned and brought before Morgoth, and then Luthien started singing and he fell asleep, or they just sang before they had been caught. I can't quite remember which one of those, but one of those is true. And they had some type of knife with them, with which they managed to carve one of the Silmarils out of its iron casing and bring it back. They bring it back with them. and they actually managed to make it back to Doriath. There's quite a bit of adventure going on, and I think Baron lost a hand at some point, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100%, but I remember him only having one hand. Correct me if you think I'm wrong, or if you know I'm wrong. Remember that. I'm very good at mixing up my first stage stories and names because they're so similar. But that's basically the story, and then it go back to Doriath, and Thingol takes the Silmaril, and it's very, very what's the word I'm looking for here? He's not very happy that they brought the Silmaril to him. Well, he's happy that he's got a Silmaril. He's not happy that Beren actually managed to get a Silmaril, because that means he has to relinquish, if you can say that he has to relinquish his daughter's hand, because that indicates that she has no choice, right? But before he approves of their joining, I guess you could say that. That sounds good. And the story doesn't end there, because Feanor and his brethren find out that Thingol has managed to acquire a Silmaril somehow. They do not know how, I do believe, but they know that he's got one, and they are kindly-ish ask that he relinquish it to them, because it is by inheritance and by oath theirs, and they are going to take revenge on anyone who harbors them, be it elf or man or orc or whatever. So bloodshed ensues, and there's some kind of war going on after that. I'm getting completely distracted. Point of order is that I believe that Beren and Luthien actually... I know that they lived happily ever after that, and that they lived in a cottage somewhere secluded. And oh, look at that. Fantastic. And Luthien is said to have been the most beautiful elf maiden there ever was. And their children or daughter is said to have then been even more beautiful than that. And she is said, Luthien is said to have been the most beautiful one, because she was the child of a Maya and Thingol. And that is all for your first stage history lesson. I am sorry if I probably managed to get some of the names wrong, or some account of the retelling wrong. Look at that pitiful army though, it's so reduced. Not those, but you know. Apologies if I managed to get some of the retelling wrong. I tried to be as accurate as I could, but the names are swirling around in my head and I can't exactly place who did what. And it's a little bit of a mess, but I can't even remember why I got in on that. I honestly cannot know. I do not remember why I started talking about Beren and Luthien. Might be because the book has come out, a retelling of the story, as of recording the 7th of June. It came out like last week or something. Yeah, something like that. But I have held you up with my dreadful first age knowledge, or name knowledge in any case, and I shan't try to provide any more false information for you, or I shall attempt not to provide any more false information for you. So I'm not going to fight this battle, by the way, if you haven't already guessed. This is all basically a ramble at the end, so tell you what, I'm gonna fight this battle in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed this one and that you enjoyed the changelog. Considering the feedback on the changelog, I think most of you have indeed enjoyed it. It was mostly positive, and that's very, very nice to read and nice to see. Always nice to see that your work is appreciated. Helps me want to, or makes me want to make more videos. So thank you very, very much for giving feedback, giving positive criticism or criticism of any kind, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching.